Welcome to the GGM Finance Podcast. And in today's episode, I'm going to share and break down my personal investment strategy on trying to reach financial freedom.
GGM Finance.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Kamal, aka Swiss the DJ, aka Mr. Morrison, and this show is all about me documenting my journey on the road to financial freedom. I'll be sharing my exact investing approach, why I'm using it, why I believe in it, and why it's worked for so many everyday people before me. This isn't a get-rich-quick strategy. This isn't day trading. This isn't timing the market or picking the next hot stock. This is about long-term, boring, consistent investing, the kind of strategy that quietly builds wealth over time. And honestly, this approach is directly what I've seen work again and again in the financial independence space. Regular people, average income, no special insider knowledge. In the intro of this podcast, I said I'm documenting my journey on the road to financial freedom. Before I talk about the investments, I want to define what financial freedom means to me. Financial freedom is not about luxury cars or luxury houses. It's about options. It's about not being forced to work a job I hate, having control over my time, being able to say no when I want to, and knowing that my money is working harder than I am. The thing I've learned about financial freedom is that it's not built overnight, it's built through systems and consistency. That's where my investment strategy comes in. So why did I choose the long-term investing approach? Well, I think I should give you guys some context before I get there. It was almost a decade ago where I was purchasing and closing on my first condo, and I saw $40,000 disappear in 3 months. Oh yes, my dream of buying my beloved S2000 was gone when I had to close on my condo and pay condo fees. Oh, and anyone that's buying a brand new condo in the GTA, those closing fees are no joke at closing. Like whatever you have, triple it. I'm telling you, I'm getting nightmares just thinking about it right now. Ugh. Anyway, yes, so I had to pay for the closing on my condo and the fees. I had to get a dental implant, and I had to pay a lot of back taxes. You see, your boy wasn't in the best financial shape before purchasing his condo, so I had to work 25 hours a day, 8 days a week to make sure everything was straight, and I had to pay a lot of back taxes. The problem is I worked so much, the following year, my tax bill was no joke, and I had to pay a lot of taxes. After all these events, I was like, damn, what's going on? Like, why can't I get ahead? That's when I asked myself the question, how do I get ahead and how do I sustain financial stability? After asking myself the question, I started going down a deep, dark rabbit hole searching for content about personal finance. Dave Ramsey's videos seem to come up a lot. He is a pioneer in the space. He has really good insights and information about budgeting, investing, as well as paying off debt. I like a segment he does called the Debt-Free Screen. This is where individuals and families share and break down how they paid off all their debt. I was also consuming content from other financial thought leaders in the space, such as Ramit Sethi, Graham Stephan, The Wall Street Trapper, Earn Your Leisure, David Bach, and a Canadian YouTuber, Brandon Beavis. It was really good and cool to consume personal finance content, getting the Canadian perspective. However, one of my favorite YouTube channels that probably had the most relatable content, and they were just so down to earth, was a channel called Our Rich Journey. This is a husband and wife with 2 kids who were able to reach financial freedom in 8 years. I was also reading to find some answers as well. Some notable books for me is this one, The Latte Factor by David Bach. The tagline is, why you don't have to be rich to live rich. And the premise of this book is that small amounts of money can start to free you financially and build wealth, hence the latte factor. Another big impactful read for me is Everyday Millionaires by Chris Hogan when he used to work at Ramsey Solutions. The tagline for this book is How Ordinary People Build Extraordinary Wealth and How You Can Too. This book is based on a study on 10,000 millionaires. When you start to go through these stories and really get into this book, you start to realize that anybody can reach millionaire status if they really want to. The most impactful book for me, though, was Playing with Fire by Scott Rickens. Amazing read, highly recommended. This book is about a man who finds out about the FIRE movement, which FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early, shares it with his wife, and it's their 1-year transformation on their path to financial freedom. Very inspiring. With the FIRE movement and their investing style, it helped thousands of people achieve financial freedom. Most people, in my opinion, don't fail financially because they don't make enough money. They fail because they chase hype, overcomplicate investing, or just give up too early. I didn't want investing to feel like a second job. I want a system where I can invest consistently, stay invested during good and bad markets, and let time do all the heavy lifting. That's why I chose long-term ETF investing. This approach removes emotion and guesswork. It allows me to focus on earning, saving, and living my life. So my core ETF strategy. Well, I guess before I explain that, I should explain to you guys what an ETF is. An ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. It's a single investment that holds a basket of many stocks or bonds, so you get instant diversification in one purchase. It trades like a stock, making it a simple, low-cost way for everyday people to invest in the market without picking individual companies. Most people that achieve FIRE stick to a simple investment strategy. They invest in the total US stock market. For the last 100 years, the US stock market has given a return of 10% a year. A very popular fund for people in America seeking FIRE is the Vanguard Total US Stock Market Index Fund, in short, VTSAX. Our Rich Journey claims that this fund helped them tremendously in achieving financial independence. Others also recommend an S&P 500 ETF, as it's another popular choice for long-term investors. Just like the FIRE strategy, I'm following and doing the same thing. Well, sort of. I'm heavily invested in the US stock market in a mix of 3 funds. The first ETF that I'm invested in is a total US stock market ETF from BlackRock. The ticker symbol for this fund is XUU.TO. And when I say ticker symbol, I'm just talking about a short code that represents either a company or a fund that you can look up on a stock exchange. Instead of betting on one company, I'm betting on American innovation, business growth, and the overall economy long-term. Historically, the US stock market has rewarded patient investors. There are downturns, crashes, and recessions, but over decades, the trend has always moved upward. The second fund is an S&P 500 ETF from Vanguard. The ticker symbol for this fund is VFV.TO. This is a staple for Canadian investors. By owning an S&P 500 ETF, I'm automatically invested in leaders across technology, healthcare, finance, consumer goods, and more. The last one is a NASDAQ 100 ETF from BlackRock. The ticker symbol for this fund is XQQ.TO. Now, when I talk about the NASDAQ 100, it's just a stock market index that tracks 100 largest non-financial companies listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange, mainly in tech, consumer, and healthcare. The NASDAQ 100 is heavily weighted in innovation and technology-driven companies. These businesses are shaping the way we work, live, and communicate. Yes, it's more volatile, and yes, it moves more during downturns. But long-term, innovation has been one of the strongest wealth-creating forces in history. I'm willing to accept short-term volatility for long-term growth. Why I think this strategy works for me, and it can work for average people. This is the thing I think people underestimate. This strategy works because it's simple. You don't need insider information, perfect timing, or a finance degree. You need consistent investing, time, and discipline. In my opinion, most people in the financial independence space didn't get wealthy from some crazy stock pick. They got wealthy from investing every paycheck, increased contributions as income grew, stayed invested during market crashes, and didn't panic when markets dropped. To wrap it up, my investment strategy is very simple and on purpose. I focus on long-term ETF investing, broad market exposure, consistency over perfection, and patience over hype. This strategy has helped millions of everyday people move closer towards financial freedom, and I believe it could do the same for anyone that's willing to stay the course. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.